everyone to your Frontier Opening Bell. I am Bosin Omofaye, and as you may know already, the Kenyan stock market is where the party is taking place right now. Of course, the $9.2 trillion Blackrock asset management re-entry into the African market is causing such a big jump, roughly 2-year high on the Nairobi stock market yesterday. I'm sure you can see the figure there, 5.5%, taking the Nairobi stock market securities exchange Osha index roughly to 120 basis points. It's the first and the biggest single day jump since 2024 started. So now investors are buying very deeply and following the big money that BlackRock from the United States is bringing on to the African markets and using the Nairobi stock market as the window. That's on one hand. Then you've got earnings coming through. Kenya Airways reporting at least some level of profit, as it were, the first time in as much as 7 years, as it were. Those numbers came in after market on Tuesday. Then you've got earnings also from other big names such as Equity Group, which of course is the parent company of Equity Bank. Equity Bank Group reporting 4 shillings cash dividend to shareholders for its full year ended December 31st, 2023. Those are the numbers taking the market to the upside. Of the market, you've got Family Bank in Kenya also reporting numbers this for today. So you've got quite a lot happening over the last 2 sessions in Kenya, East Africa's biggest economy, one of the biggest exchanges on the continent. So the rally is there, so you just follow that as we focus on the rest of the market. We're also looking at the Zimbabwe stock market, looking to cross the 800,000 reading anytime, any moment soon, perhaps before the end of the week, if the rally we're seeing in Zimbabwe continues on the main exchange. We've got all that also for you. Then you have the Johannesburg stock market up Tuesday 0.44%, just a day. That's before today, when we expect the South African Reserve Bank to deliver a second interest rate repo decision later today. You got the Nigerian markets, the stock markets taking some beating, as it were, as the central bank yesterday delivered another jumbo hike to the north, 200 basis points, bringing the total to 600 basis points, just the same way the Egyptian central bank delivered a single day 600 basis points last month. Then Nigeria's done 600 basis points. That takes Nigeria's headline NPR to 24.75% as the Cardoso-led central bank looks to chase inflation and try to woo foreign portfolio investors onto the market. So action is now on the fixed income side and money market side. In Nigeria, the Naira recovered strongly yesterday by roughly 2% to about 1,300 against the US dollar. The BRVM went up 0.24%, that's 0.25%, while the Egyptian market was down about 1%. Let's take it down and look up the big news across East African corridor. You've got the news around Kenya Airways reporting revenue of 53 basis points last year. Finance cost was up by 2%. Profit of about 10.5 billion was reported, even though that's much slightly in the green. But of course, that decelerated his losses over the past year, which was 2022. Stanbic Uganda also reporting 412 billion shillings upside in earnings for full year 2023. The full year, in particular for the banks in Kenya, are coming through as we speak. Outside the banking space, you've got Mombasa Port growing 12% in 2023, despite regional rivalry between Mombasa Port and other ports in the region to the north, around Somali, and Tanzania and Uganda. A few are Uganda and others who are looking to take part of the lunch in the logistics and seaports business from Mombasa, that big and iconic facility for East African corridor. Meantime, Tanzania and Rwanda said they're looking to open new border points. We'll see how that relationship move forward. Those are your headlines east of the continent. We've got a whole lot more to cover, but let's move on to West Africa, where the new president for Senegal, 44-year-old Faye, says he's looking to ditch the France-backed West African CFA fund, the FCFA, to set up a new currency for Senegal, which will be the country's currency, such as the Ghanaian cedi, the Nigerian naira, the Liberian dollar. We don't have a name yet for that, but that's what the new president says his focus will be, is trying to shake off the influence of France on Senegal. Good news yesterday with the EFC Africa Finance Corporation says it secured $1.16 billion in syndicated loan at its Dubai event, which was bought mainly by investors from Middle East, from Asia, as well as Europe. Also good news for Nigeria's northeastern state of Yobe State. $50 million is what is coming through from the board of directors of the EFDB to support these northeast troubled states under regional insurgency over the past decade plus, ruining the economy of the state. Now, IFDB says it's bringing $50 million to the table. The total package for the climate resilience food security projects in Yobe State to be about $101.2 million US. Bardia, the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, is bringing about $15 million roughly, thereabouts, is bringing some money to the table to support that initiative. Others will pitch in as well. It's all coming together to support Yobe State. The state government will also bring about $3 million to the table to support this project. Congratulations to everyone. Let's see this move forward as well positively. Fintech companies in Kenya, meanwhile, say they're heading to Ghana, next door Nigeria, to see opportunities in the Ghana's fintech space. In the meantime, Ghana is reporting its gross international reserves up roughly 10% within the first 2 months of the year. Part of the briefing on Tuesday, late Monday, by the Bank of Ghana Governor Ernest Addison. And finally, about $96 million solar farm is coming through from the U.S. to boost electricity in Liberia. Of course, you've got the cocoa story already on news wires, how West Africa is facing climate change crisis. You've got the cocoa pod disease and the lack of funding for Ghana to do more in the cocoa production and export. So price of chocolate's gone up. Globally speaking, I'm going to keep the ones I have for now. Just try to pinch that a little bit and wait and we'll see things over. Cocoa price is now about $10,000, the highest for the cocoa prices since around the 1970s, when cocoa prices were around 7,500 per metric ton globally. Let me just walk you through Southern Africa. Of course, you know that the SARB decision today, the Sejake Gango, the central bank governor, will deliver South Africa's repo rate decision today. Namibia economy went up 4.2% for full year, while Credit Agricole, he says, is exiting financing of $22 billion Mozambique LNG project. That's a blow to that, by the way. In the meantime, Nampark says it's done $450 million brand deal for South Africa's liquid cartons business between Malawi and Zambian units. We're looking at that business deal. An American company, Perfect, says it's got a secondary listing, approval to do a secondary listing on the South African stock market, the GSE, the most advanced stock market on the African continent. And Goldman Sachs is retaining a bullish view for commodities in the current year, 2024. So let's take it to North Africa and wrap up the show for today with the IPO on the Algerian market, which is bringing a whole lot of investors' action for this commercial bank on the Algerian market. That's also in the news as Algeria is launching a new 200 megawatt solar plant project. Libya says it's suspending subsidies, suspending all the country's oil minister, Mohamed Aoun, pending investigations into his activities, while fuel subsidies in Egypt was up about 9% in the first half of his 2023-2024 calendar. And then, of course, you have Egypt looking to slash prices of essential goods by 15 to 20% were in the holy month of Ramadan. Of course, finally, you've got BH Leasing International reporting full year 2023 profit jump about 60%. And those are your headlines this Wednesday, the 27th of March. We're tiptoeing towards the final trading days of the month and, of course, the end of the first quarter. Have a great day, everyone. I am Bosin Faye. I'll see you next time.